The way we process what's happening around us shapes the path we walk ahead. We're all connected by the unspoken feelings of our times. Feel them deeply. Every change in the world begins with a shift in the heart. What we feel is as important as what we know about the world. The pulse of humanity is in our feelings, not just the events that shape them. When we listen to our emotions, we hear the truth behind the noise. What's happening in the world today calls for more than action. It calls for empathy. Change starts with feeling the weight of today and using that emotion to shape tomorrow. In every crisis, there's a call to awaken the power of our emotions. Feelings aren't weaknesses, they are the guideposts showing us the way forward. Every moment is a reflection of what we feel and what we choose to do with that feeling. The feelings we suppress today can be the stories we regret not telling tomorrow. Even in chaos, our hearts can find the path to peace. It's not just what we see happening, but how it makes us feel that defines us. The events of today are reflections of what we are feeling collectively inside. How we react emotionally today will determine the world we live in tomorrow. The truth about what's happening in the world often lies within our feelings about it. Every emotion is a step toward understanding the bigger picture of life. The world is full of noise, but the truth is quiet. It speaks through how we feel. We can only understand what's going on around us when we truly listen to how we feel. What happens next depends on how we choose to feel and respond in the moment. We are living in an emotional landscape. Our feelings are the map to navigate it. The greatest change comes when we listen to our hearts and respond to the world around us. In every storm, there's an opportunity to reconnect with the heart of humanity. Our feelings are the bridge between current events and future transformation. What the world needs most is not just change, but the emotional awareness to guide it. Through our feelings, we hold the power to shape the world if we choose to act on them. To understand the world, we must first understand the emotions it stirs within us. What we feel is a reflection of how much we care about the world's future. Our emotions don't just mirror the world, they are the force that can change it. In times of uncertainty, it's our feelings that provide the clarity we need. Sometimes, the loudest truths are the ones we feel but cannot say. What we feel today is the foundation of the world we will live in tomorrow. Every emotion is a doorway to understanding something deeper about our reality. To truly understand the events unfolding around us, we must first understand how we feel. The feelings we carry shape the future we create. how will we use them? What happens today doesn't just affect us physically, it stirs something deep inside. In a world that's constantly changing, our feelings are the constant we must trust. Each emotion is a step towards understanding not just the world, but our place in it. Today's events don't just demand a response, they demand a deep emotional understanding. When we feel with purpose, we can shape the world with intention. Our feelings are the silent protest of the world's injustices and the hope for its healing. In a world that seems so divided, our shared emotions can be the thread that brings us together. Feelings are not distractions, they are the inner compass guiding us through change. The world speaks loudly through events. We respond quietly through our feelings. The chaos around us doesn't have to define us. How we feel about it can. The emotional truth of today is often the missing piece to understanding the events of tomorrow. Our collective feelings are a reflection of what's happening in the world and the power we have to change it. Change begins when we acknowledge the power of our feelings and how they shape our response. The power of our emotions lies in their ability to inspire action that transforms the world. What we feel in the moment is the catalyst for the world we're creating together. To face the future, we must first understand how we're feeling about the present. Each emotion we experience is a lesson from the world around us, pushing us to grow. In times of crisis, the way we feel can be the bridge between despair and hope. What we feel can either trap us in the past or propel us into a new future. Our emotions are the true reflection of our connection to the world's events. In every change, there is an opportunity to listen to both the world and our feelings. The stories of today are not just written in facts, but in the emotions they stir. The feelings we carry today will guide the world we build tomorrow. Sometimes, the most profound truths lie in the emotion we struggle to express. The truth is harder to hear, but it's the only path to clarity. What happens today shapes tomorrow, and the world is waiting to hear your voice. We are all part of the same story, navigating through the chaos of the moment. The way we feel today will influence the way we face the future. Don't ignore the signs that life is pushing you to understand deeper truths. Sometimes we don't realize how deeply the current moment impacts our future. Every decision we make ripples through time, shaping both our hearts and our world. It's easy to be lost in the noise, but the real change comes when we listen carefully. The hardest truths often hold the most powerful messages. What we're feeling now is a reflection of what's happening around us. Let your emotions guide you to a better understanding of today's reality. In these times, it's not about the news we hear, but how we respond to it. Every emotion we experience is a message from the world around us. Sometimes the loudest voice we need to hear is the quiet truth inside of us. The events of today stir emotions, but they also teach us about our resilience. There's more to every story than meets the eye. Listen closely, feel deeply. The world is shifting beneath our feet, and it's up to us to understand its language. In a world of change, our feelings are the compass guiding us forward. The more we understand our emotions, the clearer the truth becomes. The weight of the world is heavy, but so is the strength of our collective hearts. We are all navigating a sea of emotions, but our shared humanity keeps us afloat. The challenges of today may feel overwhelming, but they also carry wisdom. The feelings we carry can either divide or unite us, depending on how we listen. The current moment is never just about what's happening, but also about how we feel about it. In times of uncertainty, our emotions are the most honest things we have. What we see on the surface doesn't always match what we feel underneath. The world speaks to us through events, and our hearts speak to us through feelings. We are living through history, and the way we feel about it will shape its legacy. The current reality may be difficult, but it's also a chance for growth. Every emotional response is a message. Every event is an opportunity for growth. Feel the weight of today's events, but also recognize the lessons they offer. Our feelings are the true reflection of the world we live in right now. What we face today can either break us or make us stronger. It all depends on how we react. The world is evolving, and so are our emotions, intertwined in a constant dance. Every major change brings forth a storm of feelings. How we weather it defines who we are. The truth lies not in what's said, but in what's felt. The world may be in turmoil, but our hearts remain the steady force for change. The present moment is filled with challenges, but also with the potential for understanding. In every challenge, there is an opportunity to evolve emotionally and spiritually. We are all connected, not just by events, but by the emotions they stir in us. The heart doesn't forget, even when the world tries to move on. Our emotions are like mirrors, reflecting the world's wounds, but also its beauty. We're all fighting battles, but sometimes the toughest ones are the ones within. The world outside is changing rapidly, but the transformation inside is even more profound. We are all part of something greater, and what happens to one of us affects all of us. Understanding the world around us begins with understanding the feelings within us. Feelings of fear and uncertainty often lead to the greatest moments of growth. We can change the world, but first we must change how we feel about it. It's not about the events themselves, but how we respond to them emotionally. The truth of this moment is not just in the headlines, but in how we feel about them. There's a deeper truth hidden in every emotion we feel about the world today. The world is shifting, and our emotions are our guide through this transition. Feelings are the pulse of society. What we feel today is shaping the world of tomorrow. Today's reality isn't just in the facts, it's in how we feel and act upon them. In times of crisis, our emotions are the compass we must trust. The changes happening around us stir something deep inside, something we can't ignore. What we feel today could be the catalyst for the change we need tomorrow. When we understand the feelings of the world, we understand its true story. Our feelings about current events are the true barometer of where we stand in the world. In these times, the most powerful thing we can do is listen to both the world and our hearts.